Let's turn to the University of Idaho murders. As a refresher, these are the murders that happened in a student apartment on 2 different levels of the apartment. There were 4 people killed. That was Xana Kernoodle, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonclaves, and Madison Mogan. You can see 2 of them right here. So you can see 2 of them right here. This is Madison and Xana. They live together in an apartment. And they were killed in a knife attack at night. Literally when they had no chance to, know what was really coming. It was a surprise. Some of them had defensive wounds, but all of them were killed. There was blood everywhere. Very gory, very gruesome. Over half the students at University of Idaho have switched to online schooling. So this is kind of terrifying. Harkens back to the Rawling days in Gainesville when folks were having their boyfriends sleep over. Folks were, staying all together to avoid this killer. Because the killer has not been found. And the disturbing thing is, it's now more than 30 days after this crime. And typically, if you don't find a suspect very, very quickly, it's a cold case. It's just a dead case. And the police made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of fuck ups. But now there is a suspect. And the suspect is a criminology graduate student. Now, I'm going to say this because I see you guys saying like a little bit in the chat. You're getting excited, be like, they caught him. They caught him. I got to say it. And I know this is a horrible crime, but I do have to say this because I need to be fair. I always say this man, even though he's a suspect, he's still innocent until proven guilty. Please remind you that. I'm not going to say this is the killer. First of all, that's defamation at this point. He has not been convicted of anything, but he is the suspect. So here's the criminology graduate student. Now, his name is Brian Christopher Koberger. He's 28 years old. He was arrested in Pennsylvania over 2,500 miles from the crime scene. Guys, that's past. Like, if I'm here in like Seoul, that's as if I was over in Bangkok or something. I was in Manila. It is so far away from Idaho. Pretty much the opposite side of the country. He was arrested over there in Pennsylvania. Here's the guy, Brian Koberger, in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, near Scranton in the Poconos. He was staying with his family there. They haven't disclosed much about him or what his exact link is, except for they were asking for tips relating to this guy. They were asking for tips related to this guy. So just FYI. But they have not given any more information. These are more pictures of the girls. He will be extradited to Idaho. He's already appeared before a judge, and he remains in custody without bail. This guy is not getting bail. So he's facing 4 counts of first-degree murder and felony burglary. He was at his parents' home in Albrightsville. I have no idea about Pennsylvania, localities. I know Scranton. I don't know Albrightsville. You guys would have to tell me about that. So there you go. There's international attention on this case to solve this case. Now, I don't know whether Brian Koberger is ultimately guilty or innocent, but he's going to go back to Idaho. And unless they release this guy, which is highly unlikely, we're probably going to see a trial on this one, which I will cover. And I think we will find in the coming days his links to all of this. So I will stay on top of it. I will cover this and let you guys know as this story develops. How was this guy linked? How was he there? Why did he leave? We're going to find out this information. But for now, they've got a suspect. So this is actually going to turn into something. This could have been a cold case, but now it can be an actual legal case. So that's what we got there. All right. And by the way, I always thought that it was, and I've said this, I've always thought it was a guy. Anybody who thought it was a girl, no, come on. That wasn't going to happen. And a young guy makes sense. Older guy, very old, you probably wouldn't. I mean, it's a lot of people in there. And also one of them was a dude. You killed a dude. So you have to be a certain level of strength and endurance. So probably a younger or middle-aged guy was always going to be the suspect. A criminology student, a grad student, makes sense. You're also at the university. Criminology too. I mean, that's very specific. It's interesting too, if you become what you study. Very interesting. That could definitely be a plot line. But we'll see. We will see. I will cover this case. I'll stay on top of it. And let me take a little poll here. Actually, let me get Brandon's chat. So Brandon says, point of data, WSU is across the border from the University of Idaho in Moscow. 15-minute drive. Money is on. They knew the guy. It sucks. Everything about this is odd. Yeah, so the university he was at was in Pullman, Washington, which is a 10-minute drive across the border. So it's not far. Not far at all. But right now it is circumstantial. But we'll see. We'll follow it. We'll see what evidence they can get, what they have. We'll stay on top of this, guys. So I'm going to keep you informed here.